All right, welcome to the fourth session of our career building workshop. In the last session, we've looked at how you can start up your career, some of the things you need to put in place, you need to put together in order for you to start up your career. Now, in this session, we are going to look at growth strategies. How can you grow and how can you grow your career, and what are some of the things, some of the strategies you can put in place to enable you to scale. While we were having our business startup workshop, I did mention, I think in the first or second session, that there is a manner in which you will start your business that it will become difficult for you to grow that business over time, because the essence of starting any business is to be able to grow the business to become a legacy business, a business that will outlive you. In the same way, as a career professional, the manner in which you begin your career, the mindset with which you begin it, the place, the environment with which you begin it, the plan with which you begin it, the intention with which you begin it would either mar your growth or facilitate your growth. So the first strategy for career growth, which we are going to be discussing, is what we call the intentionality strategy. That career growth is not something that is that happens automatically. It's not. You don't grow because you've been doing the same thing for 20 years. No, you've been doing it for 20. It's possible that, in fact, in these 20 years, you have, instead of growing, you have actually been diminishing. You understand? So that you have been on it for a very long time does not mean that you have been growing, right? So the first thing you need to get right in order to be able to grow, in order to be able to scale, is to be intentional about it. This is something you want to do for the next 20 years, for the next 30 years of your life. You don't want to barricade yourself. You don't want to tie down yourself. You don't want to cage yourself in one space. You want to be able to move. You want to be able to explore. You want to be able to move from one level of efficiency to another level, right? And while you are starting out, that having it clear in your mind that, okay, this is my first job where I'm taking, but after 3 years, I want to quit this job and move on to a bigger role, right? Either to quit the company or whatever. So, and being intentional requires you to, number one, to take initiative. You need to take initiative to grow. You need to go beyond your job descriptions. You need to grow beyond your company. Like I've mentioned, as a professional, it becomes necessary for you at various phases. Like I've mentioned, your entire life is going to be defined by various jobs. You're going to take various jobs with different organizations, right? So you don't want to get yourself stuck with one organization. So you want to take the initiative to grow. You want to take the initiative to grow, to do things beyond, to learn things beyond your job description. Because one of the reasons why a lot of people are stuck is because of their job description. So you want to make sure that your job description does not become a limiting factor for you to grow. You understand? That you're able to have the opportunity to learn things outside, to grow, and to take initiative, to do other projects, to collaborate outside of the environment, outside of the company where you are working. If the company where you are working gives you the opportunity to do that, fine and good. But if they don't give you the opportunity, it is important for you to go and to go into partnerships, to join networks, professional networks, and join volunteering organizations, NGOs, and all that, and just find a way to do things that are outside your job description. This is very, very critical, and a very, very critical component of being intentional about growing and scaling your career. The next is improving your skills. The resultant effect of going outside your job description, doing things outside your company, as long as it doesn't impede, it doesn't affect your efficiency on the job, is the skills that you acquire, the exposure, right? You want to attend trainings, earn some certifications, you want to stay current within the industry, and you want to follow the trends and see what is coming up, what is changing, and all that. Then thirdly is what seeking feedback. It is very, very important for you to get opinion, for you to have an idea about how people sees you, how people perceive you, and you have to be intentional about this. This is very, very important. You have to be intentional about seeking feedbacks, asking people how you have performed, how well you have done, whether you have done well or not, and then you need to be open-minded enough to be able to accept people's criticism. If people say you're not doing it here, don't get emotional over it. In the first place, you are the one who will go and ask of it. At modern times, we are all moving into our shells. Everybody, you go to a workspace, you do something wrong, nobody wants to speak about it. Why? Because nobody is really interested in whether you improve or not, and a lot of people are even concerned as to they don't want to offend you and all that. So, but when you give people the opportunity to provide you feedback, say, okay, how am I doing on the job so far? How well have I done? Have I made any mistakes? What do you think I'm not doing well? By asking people these questions, give them the opportunity to talk, give them the opportunity to evaluate you and to give you feedback, which will also be a valuable asset for you in order to grow your career. Remember, you're not going to be with those people forever. For goodness sake, you are trying to build a career. You're not going to be in that company more than 3 or 4 years, right? So what is the big deal? Go around and ask people what they think about you and about what you do, and make sure you use those to examine yourself and take further steps. And then lastly is what expanding your network. You need to be intentional about building networks. This is very, very critical. Network will not build itself. You will not connect with people just because you are working in the same space, just because you meet at an event, just because just because of all these things. In our corporate etiquette workshop, we talk a lot about building network. But you see, it's something that here I just want to emphasize the point that it's something that requires a high level of intentionality that you have to be very, very intentional about. We'll take this quick commercial break, and when we return from this break, we shall talk about the growth formula.
Hi there. Thank you for choosing to participate in our workshop. We're thrilled to have you on this learning journey with us. If you just came across this video online or on our channel, you can access all the workshop videos on our website at jomorc.com or on our YouTube channel at Jomo Mentorship. Looking to take your skills to the next level? Explore our wide range of in-depth courses at elearn.jomorc.com. Here's a glimpse of what we offer. Number 1, customer service essentials. Number 2, team building and management. Number 3, corporate profiling and job application. Number 4, personal and servant leadership. Number 5, human resource management. Number 6, communication and public speaking. Number 7, project management. Number 8, marketing and branding. And finally, number 9, counseling and conflict resolution. Whether you prefer learning remotely or at your own pace, we've got you covered with flexible and engaging learning experiences. Visit elearn.jomorc.com today and start building the future you deserve.
All right, welcome back from that quick commercial break. Now, let's talk about the growth formula. The growth formula is what we use to evaluate whether you have been able to grow over time or not. And how it works is we look at skill times the exposure that you have had times the relationship. Then it gives us what we call career elevation. Career elevation means that you have been able to move from phase 1 of your professional development to phase 2, right? And to be able to know if you have moved, and to be able to actually move is to look at your skill. What was your skill, your competence level in your skill when you started? What is it now? What is your exposure so far? Your exposure within the industry, your awareness, right? And then your relationships. By the time we put all these things together, we can know if a career elevation has taken place or not. Now, let us talk about scaling your career the right way, right? The first thing is to build a standard for yourself. You want to create a repeatable system and processes that when somebody say, this person is good at this, and he recommends you to somebody, and the person contacts you, whether as a business or as career professional, that you do not disappoint, that you're able to maintain a standard, that you should have a standard. And another part of having a standard that I would like to mention is having a standard of work, having a standard of pay, having what you will not give out. If you produce something and you know it's not up to your standard, don't give it out, don't sell it out. Just keep it, repeat it again, and work on it and make sure it's up to your standard. If you are delivering services, you are working in an organization, make sure that every service you have to provide have a standard, so that every report you submit, every project you complete, have your imprint in it. Your invisible but very valuable imprint, that people can feel it and say, yes, this person did this thing. And when you go to company B too can see it and say, yes, this thing this person did in company A is able to replicate it here. So you have a standard of service below which you are not ready to give. And then on the third portion of it is having a standard of pay. You need to be able to also have a standard, of the kind of pay that you receive and the kind of pay that you will not receive. This is also very, very critical. You also need to have a standard for your life and make sure that whatever it is that you can cop up from your professional development, can cop up from your job, is something that is able to also cater for your life standard, right? The next is to delegate. Again, it is very, very important for you to delegate the various aspects of your career scaling to different systems, different platforms, and different people. If you are a career professional, you are going to leverage other people to be able to grow. And you need to identify and delegate. By delegating, we don't mean that giving them the responsibility, but understanding what it is that you need from various platforms, you need from various people around you to be able to grow. So you know that, okay, I need financial resources from here, I need intellectual properties from here, I need financial intelligence from here, I need career development from here, I need motivation from this other person. You're able to delegate the various things you need, so that you don't go around asking the wrong people the wrong things or the right things, right? The next is to automate. You need to find a way of automating the things that you do. Plan yourself in such a way that you are able to work on your job and also grow at the same time. Remember, you're not going to be on your job forever. So you need to be able to create a system by which, while you're on your job, you're also able to grow, right? You also want to create certain automation around your finances, because finance is also a very, very critical component of what will enable you to grow as a person, right? So you need to be able to create a systems of saving. In our finance management workshop, we did look at what point of your career should you start saving, right? Well, I think that we did mention that it is at the mid-level of your career, not at the entry level, at the growth level, at the mid-level. After the first 4 years of your job, you can begin to create a saving system for yourself, an investment system for yourself that gives you better opportunity, better resources, because sometimes moving on from where you currently are requires you to have certain resources. For example, you want to quit your job. You may not be able to get a job for the next 1 month or for the next two months, and sometimes even for the next 1 year, but it becomes necessary for you to quit that particular job. So you need to be able to have the financial backfall that can continue, that can keep you going within that particular space in time. It shouldn't be because you are locked in the job just because you don't have a financial system in place. And your financial system should be automated. Your savings should be automated, right? You should refer to our finance management workshop, for more insight on this. And the next is to reinvest. It's good to also, invest your savings. If you're a business person, reinvest your profits back into the business, so that the business can continue to grow, right? We'll take this quick commercial break, and then when we return, we are going to look at how you can use technology and finance for your personal growth.
Hi there. Thank you for choosing to participate in our workshop. We're thrilled to have you on this learning journey with us. If you just came across this video online or on our channel, you can access all the workshop videos on our website at jomorc.com or on our YouTube channel at Jomo Mentorship. Looking to take your skills to the next level? Explore our wide range of in-depth courses at elearn.jomorc.com. Here's a glimpse of what we offer. Number 1, business planning and implementation. Number 2, business documentation and accounting. Number 3, business registration and legalization. Number 4, agribusiness establishment and management. Number 5, decoration and event planning enterprise. Number 6, fashion design enterprise. Number 7, food processing and packaging. Number 8, green energy enterprise. Number 9, oil and gas enterprise. Number 10, real estate and construction enterprise. Number 11, technology and security enterprise. And number 12, fintech and e-commerce enterprise. Whether you prefer learning remotely or at your own pace, we've got you covered with our flexible and engaging training experiences. Visit elearn.jomorc.com today and start building the future you deserve.
All right, welcome back from that quick commercial break. Now, as I've mentioned, finance and technology are going to be the two most constant factors that will determine when and how you are going to grow as a professional, right? Either as a business person or as a career professional. And these two things are very, very critical, right? If you're a business person, it is important for you to separate your personal finances from your business finances. This is very, very critical. It is important for you to separate these two. The two should not be one, right? Separate the two. As a person also, as a career professional also, you also want to be able to separate your resources, your growth resources from your accessible personal resources. You should be able to have a financial resource that you set aside to facilitate your growth, you understand, and all of that. And it should be clearly separated. Then you want to have a budget and be able to track your expenses also. You want to also set aside funds for growth and emergencies, as I've mentioned. Then you also want to understand pricing and value. You need to be able to know how to, charge, price, whatever it is that you want to buy and all that. Then leveraging technology. Technology is also very, very critical. You want to be able to leverage technology platforms and all that. And technology plays a very critical role in when and how you should transition from one phase of your career from one phase of your career to the next phase, right? You want to pay keen attention to technological innovations. You want to pay keen attention to applications that are now available in the market and all that, and automation processes that is going on, automation tools that are being procured and being released into the market. And your company may procure any of these automation tools that may eventually displace your role, take over your job. So these are things that are very, very critical for you to, put into consideration. On a final thought, it's important for you to maintain consistent action, be intentional about your growth, be strategic in your planning, and ensure that you have the courage to evolve. As I've mentioned, evolving is something that will require a lot of intentionality on your part. You want to make sure you are very, very intentional about it, and that you keep thinking on the long term. Don't think on the short term. Think on the long term. If it is time for you to quit that job, quit the job. You understand? If you know that is a healthy thing for you to do, quit it and move on. You understand? So that is very, very critical. You want to also build systems that enables you to easily and freely transit from one. Like I've mentioned, it's important for you to put support systems in place so that if you have to quit a job, you will not suffer, that much. And if you have dependents too, your dependents can also have something going for them while you are still, trying to get a new job. In most cases, if you have been able to establish your authority within the industry, you will just directly move from company A to company B. Because you'll be applying to company B while you're still in company A, and then when it eventually works, you can now move. You understand? And that is also very, very instructive, right? In conclusion, I need you to, after this session, to choose an area, whether you want to be a career entrepreneur or you want to be a career professional, and write down the 3 actions you can take this week to grow in it. You understand? If you're not already working, just assume. What are the 3 things you need to do? 3 steps you can take next in order to grow and scale your profession. Thank you very much for joining this session. Don't forget that in the description, you have the link to other sessions of this workshop, and then also ensure to subscribe to our channel. See you in the 5th session, where we are going to be discussing about networking, mentorship, and building strategic relationships.